I can manage to really stay behind the ball. This is one thing you can choose if you're at a certain level with your golf. Why? I'm gonna tell you in a second. All right, guys, today we're talking about the question how high or how low you're supposed to tee up with the driver. And I know that there are some rumors, which are quite funny, everybody's thinking of to see maybe half a ball or a whole ball over the club face. But finally, it really depends how you hit your driver and how you attack and approach your driver. So finally, I guess I'm just going to tee it up the way I do it, because I have a tendency of really coming from low and up, and I really want to hit the ball away or up from that tee. So if I put down my club, you can see a little bit of the ball still, but I can manage to really stay behind the ball and get the driver up towards the sky. I'm just going to demonstrate that to you. And of course, the mindset is to hit the ball away or off that tee. So, and as you can see, the tee is still in the ground, and this is how it's supposed to be, right? So now my approach is, if you have a TrackMan number in your head, it's certainly behind the ball, and it's a few digits behind the ball. But if you have the tendency of skying the ball or to attack the ball in a steep angle, then my advice, of course, is to tee up that ball super low, because otherwise you're just gonna sky it and hit underneath that ball. I'm gonna demonstrate that to you now. If you have a steep angle of attack, nothing is speaking against that you're teeing up that ball super low. So finally, also, you're supposed to tee it up low once it's super windy in your face. So to keep the ball low. So if you want to keep the ball low, what do you need? You actually need a steeper angle of attack, right? So finally, if you tee it up low, you certainly don't want to hang behind the ball, because otherwise you're gonna thin it off the tee. So now you really want to have the picture to cover the ball a little bit more, and that you can see on tour a little bit more. Why? I'm gonna tell you in a second. So the ball will certainly not fly as high, because of course, as I said, the angle of attack is a little bit steeper and a little bit more direct. But what you can do by teeing up a little bit lower, if you have a certain swing speed, is your club face, your control of your club face. So because if you have the tendency of staying behind the ball a little bit longer and swing it up, your club face can dance both ways a little bit more. It can dance to the left, it can dance to the right. So if you have a steeper angle of attack with your driver and you still can manage to get the ball up in the air, you have certainly more control for your club face. So this is one thing you can choose if you're at a certain level with your golf and with your driver. But one thing I would just would like to tell you is there is no rule that you say you have to see half the ball, you have to see a whole ball. Of course, if there is one rule for you, then it's correct, but it's not a rule for everybody. So there are always many ways, as you know, as a golfer. So now, just try it out. Let me know how you're doing, and if you need any advice, you know where you find me. Now I wish you good luck, and of course, have fun practicing.